Hello guys, welcome back to a brand new video. In this video, we will be doing an election prediction that is the best case scenario for the Republicans and for Donald Trump. There are many swing states that I'm going to assume in this election prediction are all going to go for Donald Trump. So we will fill out the safe states. I believe all of these states would be safe, including Nebraska's 2nd district, which would not be safe otherwise probably. Alabama, South Carolina, Tennessee, Missouri, Kentucky, West Virginia, Indiana. I also believe, yes, those states would all go by a safe margin for the president, 126 safe electoral votes for Donald Trump. And then these states would go safe, not the state of Oregon, but all of these states would still go safe, as well as Maine's 1st district. They would all go safe towards the Democrats. So that would be one, as well as Illinois, sorry. So that would be 176 safe electoral votes for the Democrats and 126 safe electoral votes for the Republicans. Now going here, I think Oregon would be likely. I just don't think that in the best case scenario for the Republicans, the Democrats would win the state by a safe margin, but instead by a likely margin. The state of Nevada, I believe, would go by a tilt margin to the president. I believe that this was considered a swing state in 2016, whereas some other states were not. But this was a swing state that Donald Trump was not able to win. But I think that in the best case scenario, if say the economy was going good or something, still going good, then Trump would be able to win the state of Nevada. The state of Colorado, I believe he would win lean. The Democrats would be able to win lean, and New Mexico likely. I believe that these states are Democratic states now more so than what they were under the Bush years and under even the Obama years. The more swing states than what they were then. And so because of that, these states would still go by comfortable margins for Democrats, even in a good year for Republicans. The state of Arizona, I believe, would go by a lean margin. I believe that this would be a similar result to what the 2016 election was, overcoming the trends that are trending this state blue. And yeah, I believe Texas here would go by a likely margin. It went by about 9 points against Hillary Clinton. And I believe that if Trump had a strong showing in the 2020 election, he'd be able to overcome those trends. Going over to the state of Florida here, I believe that he would win the state of Florida by a lean margin. Trump is actually pretty popular in this state. One of the few states where he's not underwater. One of the few large states, I should say, where he's not underwater. If there are any others, you should let me know. But he's doing well in approval ratings here. It is now his home state, and I think that he will do well here if this is a good year for Republicans. The state of Georgia, I believe, will go lean. The trends here are very strong. They're showing that it is becoming more of a Democratic state than it ever has before. It hasn't gone to the Democrats since '64 under Lyndon B. Johnson, which was a very long time ago, in an election which Lyndon B. Johnson won by a landslide. So I believe that the state of Georgia would still go by a lean margin. The state of North Carolina, I believe, would go by a lean margin. This is another state that's a Republican state, has been since 2012, and I believe that the Republicans would have no problem winning the state if it's a good year for them. The state of Virginia, I believe, would go by a tilt margin. There are a lot of establishing Democrats here, and this all depends on the candidate for the Democrats, obviously, but I believe that the state of Virginia, with its establishing Democrats, would still go towards the Democrats because Donald Trump does not have very good approval ratings here. The polls aren't looking too amazing for him, and I believe that even in the best case scenario, the Democrats would still win the state of Virginia. The state of Iowa and Ohio, I believe, would both go by likely margins. I was almost going to put both of these states. You could even say both of these states are going to be safe. But I'll put them both as a likely margin because his approval ratings are underwater, and even if all of those people are coming out to vote for him, these are swing states, as I've always said, and as everyone always says, these are swing states that both went to Obama both times, and Republicans need to win. And obviously, I think in the best case scenario, they would win them, just not by safe margin. So I'm going to put both of those states as safe margins. We'll go up to the Northeast here. Maine's 2nd district, I believe, would go lean, and Maine at large, I believe, actually Maine at large would have to go to the Democrats. I believe Maine at large would go lean towards the Democrats. As you can see here, the Republicans are at 266 electoral votes to the Democrats' 212 electoral votes. But from the state of Maine, specifically looking at the state of Maine here, as I just said, Maine's second district, which went to Trump in 2016, a best case scenario, it's obviously going to go for them again. I don't think that they'd be able to win Maine at large because Maine's first district is just so Democratic from the cities of Portland, and both of these districts are actually Democratic districts. Now Maine's first district and second district, but in a best case scenario, they'd probably be able to flip the second district, not the first, but the second. And that would give them the victory in the second district, just not in Maine at large. From the state of New Hampshire, I believe that this would actually be a flip. It would be by a tilt margin. It would be the first time that the state has been Republican for a very long time, probably must be since 88, maybe 84, but Vermont and New Hampshire both used to be very Republican states, and I believe that if Donald Trump has a very good year, it's his best case scenario, the economy is doing very well, there's a chance that the state of New Hampshire could go by a tilt margin towards the president. This would get Donald Trump up to 270 electoral votes, and by this time, by this point in the night, he'd have 270 electoral votes to the Democrats' 212. We'll go over here to the state of Minnesota. I believe the state of Minnesota actually be a tilt margin towards the president, the current incumbent president. This was, I guess you could say, the one that got away from Donald Trump amongst other states like Nevada and New Hampshire, obviously. But this was one of the states that got away from Trump in terms of the fact that it was a swing state, not a swing state, but Donald Trump was able to get it very close, similar to how Barack Obama got Missouri very close, Montana very close in 2008. Donald Trump was able to get Minnesota very close, and I believe that it's his best case scenario. If the economy stays booming as it is currently, he would be able to win the state of Minnesota. Going over to these three Rust Belt states here, the three that decided the election for him last time. We'll start with Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, I believe, would go by a lean margin. I believe that the people in the suburbs, in a best case scenario, would go back to the ways they used to and turn out to vote at higher rates for Republicans rather than Democrats, where you're seeing with the trends in states like Arizona and Texas and Georgia and everything. I believe that the suburban voters, the white women, and specifically the white women, but also white men, would go back to voting Republican, which would be a very important voting bloc for the Republicans. And in this situation, they would be able to win that. From the state of Wisconsin, I believe, would go by a lean margin. Not much to say about this. Donald Trump he's had some good polls in this state, although there was a flip here for the governor's race. Donald Trump is not very unpopular here either. There's many reasons you could say that the state is poised to flip, as I argued in a couple of videos ago about why Wisconsin's going blue, but I believe that in the best case scenario, he'd win it by a lean margin. And I believe that that could be a very important win day and probably one of the last states to be called, but it would go by a lean margin, so it would be very interesting from the state of Michigan. Sorry, I believe that would also go by a lean margin. This is a blue state. It has many blue House members winning by large margins in a gerrymandered district. It has 2 Democratic senators. It is a blue state, won by Obama both times and everything, yada, yada, yada. It is a blue state, as I've just said, but in a best case scenario, Trump would win the same states pretty much that he won in the 2016 election, and the state of Michigan would go by a lean margin to the president. So to wrap this video all up, this is a best case scenario for the Republicans. This is most likely not how it is going to go, but if all the right things go the Republicans' way, then the Republicans would get a victory here. But yeah, that would put the Republicans at 326, Donald Trump 326 electoral votes to the Democrats 212. That would be 20 more electoral votes than he got last time. And so yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time.